It's coming a month later than the iPhone XS and XS Max, but the iPhone XR is now here to complete Apple's 2018 iPhone lineup. With many of the same shared features as the XS and XS Max, the XR is honestly the iPhone for most people who don't want to shell out $1,000 on a new phone. After using the XR for a week, I can confidently say you're not giving much up over the XS's. The XR is every bit an excellent member of the iPhone X family. Let's start with the similarities between the XR and XS because they really have the same core DNA. Both phones run iOS 12 and are powered by Apple's blazing fast A12 Bionic, which remains the fastest mobile chip, way faster than any flagship Android phone. You will not see much of a performance difference between the XR and XS for basic things like flipping through Instagram or browsing the web or even playing rich 3D games. The A12 Bionic really makes the XR fly, and you'll feel it all throughout iOS 12. The XR supports wireless charging just like the XS. The iPhone XR also supports 2 mobile networks for those who want to have 2 numbers on one phone. The XR has the same faster true depth camera system on the front for things like Face ID. And the XR also has louder and wider stereo playback like on the XS's. Seriously, the speakers sound really great even at higher volumes. Okay, now for the differences, which I don't think will be deal breakers for most people. The biggest difference between the XR and XS is the display. The XR has a 6.1-inch screen, which is larger than the 5.8-inch XS, but smaller than the 6.5-inch XS Max. The displays look the same, stretching edge to edge, but the underlying screen tech is different. The iPhone XR uses an LCD Liquid Retina display, and the iPhone XS's use an OLED Super Retina display. That means the XS produces deeper blacks, but unless you're a screen geek, the XR's display looks great. It's really bright, looks wonderful at different angles, and the colors are superb. I thought the thicker bezels around the screen would bother me, but they didn't. I asked non-techies and none of them cared about the bezels. At least there's no bottom chin bezel like on many Android phones. Compared to the iPhone XS's thinner stainless steel frame, the XR has an aluminum body. The rear glass is stronger than the original X, and the front glass is as durable as the XS and XS Max. The XR is a little thicker, but it's not so fat that it'll cramp your hand. The XR is also not as water resistant as the XS. It has an IP67 rating, which is good for submersion in up to 3 feet of water for up to 30 minutes. So unless you're dropping it in a lake or an ocean, it's plenty liquid proof. And don't you worry, it's also beer proof too. Just be sure to dry out the port before charging it up. Another big difference is the rear camera. Unlike the XS and XS Max, which have a dual camera system, the iPhone XR only has one back camera. It's the same 12-megapixel wide-angle camera with smart HDR processing as on the iPhone XS's, but it can still take portrait photos without a secondary camera. Apple says it trained the XR's on-device machine learning to only identify people and then isolate their backgrounds. While portrait photos aren't as clean as on the iPhone XS's, they're still pretty damn good. When the camera can't detect a person in portrait mode, it'll tell you. So if you want more flexibility shooting with portrait mode for pets or for playing with the depth of field, the XS's have the more advanced cameras. And of course, you still get depth control with the XR, which lets you adjust the background blur after the shot's been taken. Besides good portrait photos, the XR also takes fantastic regular shots. Whether it's in the sunny outdoors, in low light or at night, or close-ups or selfies, the XR's camera takes great photos and does so very quickly. One feature I personally feel is a real downgrade from the XS's is Haptic Touch. Yes, I know most people don't even use 3D Touch on their iPhones, but I really like it. Haptic Touch is similar but not quite like 3D Touch. When you long press on something, you'll feel a vibration. But unlike 3D Touch, which works on app icons and within apps, Haptic Touch only works in some places, like when you're long pressing the flashlight and camera buttons on the lock screen or the shortcut buttons in Control Center. I think most people won't lose sleep over the loss of 3D Touch though. The iPhone XR's best feature, however, is battery life. Apple says the XR lasts up to 1.5 hours longer than the iPhone 8 Plus, which was able to last a day and a half. Your mileage will be different, but I found the XR lasts about the same as the XS and a few hours longer than even the XS Max. If battery life is a top priority, the XR seems like the best iPhone to get. And while the XR supports fast charging, the necessary power adapter and cable aren't included with it. Neither is a headphone jack adapter. As an iPhone XS owner, I didn't think the XR would be enough for my power user needs, but I was proven wrong. Despite being larger than my XS, the XR is still a good size and the bigger screen is really nice. The longer battery life is a huge plus. and the premium construction, best-in-class performance, app ecosystem, and cameras only make it better. I didn't even mention colors. The XR comes in 6 really fun colors like this yellow, coral, and red, and blue. The XS has the new gold and the tried and true space gray and white, but like how boring? At $750, the XR is truly Apple's new value iPhone. It's less than the new Pixel 3 and yet is more powerful. It's the Goldilocks of iPhones. If this sounds like your next phone, do yourself right and pay the $50 to double the 64GB storage to 128. You'll thank me later. Oh, and by the way, this whole video, it was shot on iPhone XR.